Hello. Everyone's favourite Hawaiian geography teacher. You're far too close. Oh, okay. How are you?
I'm fine. Hello. Welcome, everybody, to
the 20th tasting.
Oh, that's
yes,
true.
of the new boxes. I did some quick maths.
It was so long when we started.
How many did we do in quarantine?
36.
36. This is our 56th tasting.
Online. Oh my god.
And we still
air.
have no followers. Welcome back to another one of our live tastings. If you're watching us live, hello. If you're watching in the future, hello. The future is a terrible place, so...
Yes. And hello to the, as well, where is Mr. Darakat?
I think Dad's having a night off. He's protecting his liver.
Well, we have super good news. Today, we have super good news for our UK ex-European friends.
Enemies. We can now ship wine to the United Kingdom.
Ta-dun, ta-dun.
So for the 5 million people watching us right now, that's great news. But for anyone watching in the future, this is really big news.
Yeah.
That's not the English theme.
No, I was singing a Christmas carol.
That's
no, that's
New Year.
New Year's Eve. Yeah, all land sign.
That's it. Yeah, Chinese.
Yeah.
So yeah, we can now. Oh, there's Eva. So yeah, we can now
Hello.
ship wine to the United Kingdom. My parents already received their wines, 2 of which are on this tasting box for this month.
So it works.
It works. So if anyone watching now or in the future, whenever, wants to buy wine from us in England or wants to ship wine to England, we can now do that, which is very big news for us. Yep. Now, before we move into the wine of today, which is this very pretty bottle, there are 2 things you can win in this month's lottery.
Yes.
One of them is a visit to a winery.
Yes, to Arrayan, and you can have there a tasting, a private tasting with Arrayan wineries. We tasted last week. Go in our channel, you will see the tasting there. Arrayan Petit Verdot.
Petit Verdot.
Which was really good.
Very nice wine. And you can also win this.
It's a very close winery to Madrid. So it's how far it should be from Madrid? 1 hour and a half?
About an hour and a bit.
Yeah.
But that's not the only prize.
No. Here we have the big boy.
No. Just a little red one there.
Okay.
Yeah. My computer's trying to close the program. That'd be very awkward. You can win a 5 litre. This is not a fake. This is full of wine. Yeah. You can win a 5 litre bottle
of Primero.
If Eva wins this, how are we sending this to Murcia?
I will send it by myself.
Okay.
I will drive it.
So the Primero, for those of you who maybe didn't see last week, or for people who don't know, this is Spain's answer to Beaujolais, that young, youthful wine of the year that they were kind of get out into the shops as quick as possible in November. And this is a 5 litre bottle, so perfect for an English couple's breakfast. So if you want to win this ridiculous bottle, oh, there's my dad, better late than never, win this and also the visit to the winery, all you need to do is take a photo of your wine tasting, either just the bottle or maybe the bottle with what you're eating, maybe a selfie, whatever you want. Upload it to your favorite redes sociales, your favorite social network. Instagram's the most visible, but Twitter, Roque, then insert Roque Madrid OnlyFans joke now. Anything, as long as we see your post, we'll put your name into the running to win this, and at the start of the new year, hopefully you'll get a nice present because you will have won. So yeah.
Hola, Nina.
Hey, Nina's here.
5 minutes late, Mr. Darakat. I hope you have a good explanation.
Maybe he's already tucking into the box. When is the next thing? Let me check this.
The next tasting will be the Ateca, 13th.
So my dad, the first time my parents can drink along with us is on the 16th of December. Okay. So, time to drink. Let me open this. What the hell are we drinking today, Mr. Madrid? Today
we are drinking Bermejo, Malvasia, Semidulce. Okay, keep calm.
Everyone, chill out. Everyone hears the word Semidulce and they freak out.
It's not. I mean, I don't know why it's called semi-sweet. You will know what I mean in a couple of minutes.
Unless you've already finished it. Look at that. Look at the way they've done the edge of the bottle.
It's a beautiful bottle. It's the most
ornate.
minimalist bottle ever.
Yeah. There's no
Thank you
markings on
very
it.
much. Yeah, beautiful color. A nice, slightly effervescent.
Cheers, my friend.
Cheers.
Cheers, everyone.
Would you call this wine semi-sweet?
I was discussing this with Fabio yesterday. No, Monday. What day is it today? I don't even know. Yesterday, why not? And we think this is off dry. So really semi-seco, we think. Because we have some semidulces. We'll talk about what it means later. But we have some semi-sweet wines which are quite sweet. La Chelada, Alma Mystica, and they're quite sweet. This is, obviously it is sweet,
Yeah.
there's sugar in it, but this is not as sweet. I think it's just because well, where to begin? So many things. So
So many things.
In the Canary Islands, there are lots of very sweet wines. So this is just what they call the semi-sweet one.
Yeah.
But
When you buy or when you look for Canary Island wines, the first thing you will notice is of each variety, of each, let's say, of each wine shut up, of each wine of a winery, there is like a dry version and a sweet version.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
And they don't call them sweet, they call them afrutados. Seco o afrutado.
Yeah.
So when you go to a bar or a guachinche, for example, in Tenerife, and you ask for a wine, the next question immediately will be seco or afrutado.
Fruity or dry?
Yeah.
But it means sweet.
Considering fruity as sweet, something that is not used in the rest of the world like that.
It's one of the.
Fruity doesn't mean sweet. Normally, fruity means fruity.
Really?
Yes,
Oh, wow.
and sweet means sweet.
That's astonishing knowledge.
Yeah.
Now, before we talk about
Sweet is the opposite of dry, but not fruity. You can have a dry and fruity wine.
I think fruity is the opposite of minerally
Yeah.
and herbaceous and stuff.
Yeah.
Now, we've got a lot to talk about today. We've got an interesting grape. We have an interesting region. Blah, 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 blah. But before that, we need to get our tasting sheet and go through the notes.
Yeah. Let's go. So, wine, Bermejo, Malvasia, Semidulce.
Yeah, there's no label.
This label? Yeah,
there,
you're hiding with your sausage fingers.
It's kind of hard. I don't want to pour it on my phone. There, Bermejo.
2019,
19,
19, right?
Yeah, 2019.
Grapes, Malvasia. Malvasia Volcanica.
Which, more about that later, because it's very interesting. Volcanic Malvasia.
Alcohol content.
Not that much, 12.5.
12.5.
Standard.
Producer Los Bermejos is the name of the winery. And region Lanzarote. Lanzarote,
Or-
denominación de
Do you
origen.
know how the English say that word?
How to say that?
Lanzarote.
Lanzarote.
Oh yeah, we're going on holiday to Lanzarote.
It's so stupid.
Right. So,
God bless Brexit.
every time. It's coming up soon.
Yes, are you ready?
Nope. I mean, I'm ready, I'm prepared, but I'm not emotionally ready. Right, so, visual phase.
Visual. Oh, it's a beautiful yellow color.
Yeah, it's kind of a
But
rich...
it's quite pale. I mean,
It's a sort of a straw colour.
yeah, straw color.
Very clean looking.
Super clean.
This is a young wine, so we're not going to look for any golden elements or anything.
Let's smell it.
Really interesting. Really interesting. If you have this, by the way, let
Let's
us know
say
what you
it
think.
smells banana.
Are you saying that because of the Canary Island banana wine, or because you smell banana?
No, because I taste a little bit of banana in the taste. I get.
Maybe. I also get...
Yeah, I get banana. Do you get banana here? Am I the only one?
Do you get banana? It's very floral. And I get like pears and peaches, white fruits. It's not citrusy at all, I don't think. And I'm always right. So. And there's an interesting salinity.
Yeah.
A kind of a sea breeze to it. You can't, this is a strange thing to say. You can't smell the sweetness. It doesn't smell like a moscatel, which you think, this is going to be sweet. It doesn't smell like that. It's actually not very strong. It's aromatic, but it's not a punch. Malvasia tends to be a bit softer than moscatel when you smell them.
What I love of this wine is how easy it is to drink it. It's yeah, too easy.
I didn't even realize. That's a shame. So yes, any other aromas you got? Just banana, really.
But I mean, it's very tropical. I get maybe mango. Can you accept mango, please?
I get lychee.
Oh, yeah.
And there's something really interesting there. This is why I love these volcanic wines, these wines that come from the islands, because you get some really weird aromas.
Oh, it's super fresh and soft.
It's so soft. And what else? What's next? The palate?
Palate.
Okay, so this is...
Texture in mouth.
This
It's
is
a little bit unctuous. A little bit.
a little bit unctuous.
Unctuous.
Now, there's an important thing. We've done this before on the tastings, which is how you test the acidity by swishing it around, then opening your mouth and seeing if your mouth waters. Now, hopefully, very good acidity. And that's important because you have a bit of sweetness left in here. You need to have that acidity to help cut through. Some semi-sweet wines can be a bit like sticky. Not Pedro Jimenez port sticky, but a little bit sort of sugary. This one, the acidity is quite nice to give it a freshness, basically. So the palate is sweet, but it's not, I wouldn't say it's full semi-sweet. It's not a sweet wine like sherries, some of the sherries and stuff. But there is a very nice, soft, I think you said soft, it's a very soft sweetness.
Yeah.
Now, this is what it's called naturally sweet.
Yeah.
So what they do is they just let the wine ferment, and then just at the last minute, in this case, they'll just stop
interrupt
it.
Shouting, yelling at the
Stop
yeast,
fermenting!
or maybe in reducing the temperature drastically.
Which one do you think is the right one?
The first option.
Yes, they shout at the bad wine. Stop it. Yeah, so
You bad yeast.
you naughty yeast, how dare you? Stop it. Okay. Yeah, they just drop the temperature completely, and the fermentation process will stop, and there'll be a little bit of what they call residual sugar. This is the same thing you do to make port wine, but with port wine you stop it when it's like 6% and then fortify.
Yeah.
Here, when it gets to 12.5, just there's a little bit of sugar left.
Fabio arrived from the
Depths of hell.
Yes.
White peach, white plum, white stone fruit in general. Yeah.
Yeah.
My question is, Fabio, what's a white plum?
Yeah. Well, the plums can be white.
Can they?
Yeah. White or red.
Huh, never seen a white plum.
No.
No. In England, all plums are just plum-coloured.
No.
You know,
Plums can be white.
Oh, I take it back.
It's a little bit greeny. It's like a grape, like a white grape, same color.
I like learning.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to see
Yeah.
Fabio's white plums, though. No, no one
Do
wants to see that. So yes, the flavour is fresh. It's soft. It is a bit sweet, but it's cut through and kept bright by that wonderful acidity, which is partly thanks to the soil and partly thanks to the. I mean, well, we'll talk about Lanzarote later, but it's not hot like Jumilla. It's not hot
No.
like, so you can keep the acidity intact, basically. Anything else on our list?
Pairing.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's a good one because it's not.
Not the easiest
It's
style
not
of
the
wine.
easiest wine to pair.
Not that you need to, really, with this.
It's not complex. I mean, it's. But I think it would work perfect with cheese, all kind of cheese. Especially cheese from the islands. Actually, you can have beautiful cheeses from the Canary Islands, and actually they have the beautiful almogrote.
Yes. One of my favorite things in
Almogrote
Spain.
is a blend of different cheeses with tomato and garlic.
Lots of pimenton, right? Paprika.
And paprika.
So
And pimenton ahumado,
so
smoked
good.
paprika.
I still never
The
think...
result is that paste that you can use for toasts or you can fill arepas with it. It's amazing. It's very tasty. It's very powerful.
I love it.
And it's made normally with the cheeses of the islands, but it can be done with any kind of cheese. Actually, I read in the history of the Spanish gastronomy there is a very ancient recipe of the 18th century called almobrote. in Spain there was like a blend also of cheeses. Maybe it comes from that.
I like the fact that I think it was last year or earlier this year, your Danny's mum
Yeah.
gave me some cheese, but not you.
Yeah, that was very rude. That was extremely rude.
I think another cheese, if there's any British people watching, aka my parents, this wine goes spectacularly well with Wensleydale, specifically the style of Wensleydale or British cheese, kind of crumbly cheese with fruit in it. There's Wensleydale cheese with cranberries, and that is an astonishing pairing with this. But yeah, I think, what about platos, like dishes, not cheese, but like, I don't really know. Maybe some salads?
With salads, but also with pasta would work very well.
Which pasta?
For example, any kind of carbonara, any light pasta, or just
Like a
fat
creamy
pasta.
pastas and things.
But also, it would work with chicken, would go perfect. Roasted chicken with this, perfect. Balance of the sweet.
I'll have to try that.
It's the sweet of the wine is gonna pair perfect the roasted chicken.
Maybe, yeah. But the thing is, I mean, the good thing about this wine is you don't really have to worry too much. I think it might go quite well with Asian dishes. Something with a bit of spice, maybe.
Oh.
Curry or Thai food. Fabio. We had it with penne alla vodka. Okay. Oh, spicy dishes, you see? This with sushi, not sushi, but with like some Japanese dishes. I think a Thai green curry. This would go well. Anyway, maybe that's just me, guys. Okay, and Fabio.
Yes, and Fabio.
Glass,
not very big.
doesn't really matter. You know
I'm
my
gonna go for a
opinions.
medium size.
Or fun fact, whatever glass you've got in the cupboard, because who cares?
Keep it cold. Keep it,
Very cold.
Yeah, this is
Sweet
a wine
wine's
to
really
be
cold.
drunk with nice cold temperature.
This is what this kind of wine reminds me. There's a lady who did one of our tastings. I think you know the story. 2 years ago, she's from America. I think she was from Georgia or South Carolina, and I gave her one of these kind of wines, and she said, "Oh, we would call that a porch pounder." Now, might not understand that. Porch is like in these American houses where you have the little space where you can sit outside in front of the door.
Yeah, porche in español.
Okay. And then to pound is
You
like
can
drink.
continue the description.
Like pounding a drink is like bang, bang, bang. She was like, "Oh, we call that a porch pounder." Just sitting like rocking outside, like clunk, 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 clunk in summer. Really is drinking. So yeah, and the price, I think it's about $12.50.
Yes.
12 euro or something. Remember, this is an imported wine.
Yeah.
Canary Island wines tend to be a bit
Okay,
pricier.
this wine is not in the. Sorry, I forgot to mention this, but the grapes. The label says it's 100% Malvasia Volcanica, but it has a little bit of Muscat.
Sprinkling.
Like 10%. So if you point that in your tasting sheet, in the technical data.
Right, where should we
Lanzarote,
begin? Where should we begin? I think today we should actually start with the region.
I think the start here is the region. Let's go.
Let's go on holiday to the islands.
Let's go to our map. You will see Lanzarote is the closest.
That map makes it look like it's near Italy.
Yeah. Yes. Well, those islands.
The famous
Those islands shouldn't be there.
Those islands off the coast of Libya.
Well, normally in Spain we tend to put the. I think it's gonna be clear in our map.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
So I'll hold it up here if you want. Hang on.
So it's wait. Okay, so that's our map that you must have in your boxes. Okay, here you see this is Lanzarote. It's the closest island to the African continent, so it's very exposed to the harsh heat of the Sahara Desert.
Shall I take this away now?
Yes. So the weather there, it's very extreme. It's the most exposed to the Sahara heat, but also I think it's the darkest island.
It's the one I want to
soil
visit.
there is super characteristic, and I have a couple of pictures that I want to
It's
show
the
you.
most incredible looking
It's like-
vineyard area in the world.
Yes, I mean, can you imagine planting vines in Mars? This is the closest thing.
That's what Elon Musk wants to do. It's a very dark soil. There's a reason for this. It's called volcanic ash.
Yeah.
Why? How about you keep showing photos and I'll talk about what this is. So this island, Lanzarote, it is the most like you said, like a lunar landscape or Mars or something. So basically, in the 1730s, so from 1730 to 1736, the whole of the island basically blew up. Especially there's a I can never pronounce it. Timamfaya, I don't know how to say it properly. Timamfaya National Park, and this is a national park composed of these volcanoes which exploded and covered the whole island in this, what they call it, picon on the island, which is, for the geology lovers out there, we call it lapilli, but it's a fine ash, which coated, as you can see. Now you see these holes here, all over the island, these holes. The only way that they can plant these bloody grapes is to carve holes, these little pits, down through the layer of ash to get to the actual layer of living earth underneath. Sometimes they can be 4 meters deep and 6 meters wide. It's insane. And then they can finally get the roots to take root, if you will. So you have this wonderful Martian landscape of these pockmarked dead volcanoes and little holes full of these bright green vines. The soil, by the way, is very useful because it acts like a big esponja, a big sponge, and that helps also regulate the temperature of the underground part of where the vines are kind of set. But it is this fascinating example of humanity going, ha! What a crap place! I think I can make some wine here. And it's just like,
Yeah.
I want to know who was the first person who was like, you see this desolate ash-covered wasteland. I think this would be good for some
It's
from
amazing.
Malvasia.
It's a beautiful. It's an amazing
I
landscape.
really want to go. So but you've been, right?
I've been, and it's a. Well, sorry, I haven't been in Lanzarote.
You haven't? Okay.
I have been in Fuerteventura, which is
Similar,
very
similar.
similar. It's very similar.
Do you want to know a fun fact?
Okay.
Fuerteventura-
It has to be very fun.
So I like geology, so I don't know how fun it is, but Fuerteventura was the first, let me just give you some more wine while I talk. Fuerteventura was the first island to come out, and Lanzarote was the second.
Oh, really?
So they are the oldest too, so maybe
Why is that?
You're asking me why science is like, because it did. They didn't all come out.
Was there any good reason for that?
Yes. It was where the lava was, or the magma was pushing through first in Fuerteventura.
Okay.
And as that solidified into what we call land. Am I boring you?
I only know two islands. I know Tenerife and I know Fuerteventura. Fuerteventura is very similar.
I can't imagine you.
Actually,
on
Fuerteventura is the island right behind this one.
I can't imagine you on Fuerteventura. Isn't it like all beaches and surfing?
Yes, and old German ladies having some.
Now I understand why you're there. The old German ladies. So yeah, first things first, this fascinating island.
Yeah.
And the viticulture, therefore, is interesting. Now, you found some interesting photos of
Yeah,
one
because
of the ways. It's ridiculous.
The harvest of this.
It must be a
wine.
little bit touristy this now, but anyway, look at this ridiculous photo. Look at that!
Done with camels.
It's abs- So I imagine sometimes the Canary Island people get annoyed when the Spanish go, "Oh, you're just African islands." Well, you've got camels, so you can understand people thinking, "Oh, it's Africa, right? There's camels." And
Isn't it amazing?
it's so cool. It's so funny. This is one of my new. This is like my number one wine. Look at, that photo was incredible, Rocky.
Yeah.
Look at that.
That's beautiful.
So, by the way, I forgot to mention those.
Yes,
those walls are there to protect from the fierce winds that you said
Exactly,
that come from the
yeah.
African subcontinent.
they
Whatever.
would kill the plant actually. Those strong and hot.
It's strong and hot.
That's how I am not in certain
Yes, you're
points of the city.
weak and cold. Like a cup of English tea that's been sit there for an hour. Another thing to mention is the grapes. I won't talk about Malvasia just yet. First, we'll listen to Roque's fun fact. But a lot of the varieties on the island are what we call prephyloxericas, pre-phylloxeric, very old varieties. that are before that pest, that bug that we've mentioned many times at the end of the 1800s, start of the 1900s. This little bug on the back of these American roots. Why are you putting that now?
Just to remind who we are and where we've come from.
You can see Rocky's bored. He's like, he's talking about phylloxera. I'm going to play with it. So, the phylloxera came to Europe on the back of these American rootstock vines, wiped out like all the vines in Europe. But that meant that they were replanted with American vines. But that left an interesting thing. You have these little pockets around the world, usually islands, where it never arrived. So a lot of the viticulture on the islands, the Canary Islands, various islands, even Chile, which is almost like an island because the Andes blocked it off. They what we call Pierre Franco, French for Europeans.
Also, it's the place where you can find very lost varieties like Baboso Negro, Castellana Negra,
Gual, Sabro, Listan Blanco, Negramol.
Varieties that you don't find anymore in the continent.
We recently got the Baboso Negro.
Baboso Negro.
Baboso is a funny word in Spanish, right?
It's when you have this like saliva coming out of your mouth.
Like a dribbling idiot.
Yeah. like
me at Christmas time. So yes, it's a fascinating place for viticulture. I'll now hand over to Roque, who can give us all of his Lanzarote fun facts, and then I'll tell you about the grape.
Okay, Lanzarote, is it or not a big production wine region?
It's got to be tiny.
It's not. It's tiny. It's just 2 million liters of wine.
That is quite small.
Last year, which is, I mean, compared with the other regions of the peninsula, it's like nothing. But 97% of all the wine is drunk there in the island.
97?
In the national market.
97?
Oh, only
3%.
National market.
Spain continent. I was like 97 on the island.
No.
Okay.
97 national market, 3% international market, which is nothing. I mean, it's a wine that is really hard to find outside of Spain. Well, it's separated in. Let me point back again the map. Maybe if I choose the white background, that's more. That's it. So as you can see there, the wine is located in the closest part of the islands to the continent, and is divided in different sub-regions, sub-zones. Tinajo, Jaiza. Actually, the pictures we have seen of the camels in the harvest was from Jaiza. Teguise, San Bartolomé, Aria. And as you can imagine, it's a very dry weather, subtropical. It has super low rainfall. Sorry, that was me.
The alarm.
No.
Probably says, you have a wine tasting in half an hour.
I think that was my 10 a.m. alarm that I
did wrong.
The Malvasia is the main white grape planted in the island. 75% of the plantations are Malvasia. But also Pedro Jimenez, Diego, Listan Blanco, Moscatel, Burra Blanca,
I beg your pardon,
and Breval are the
Breval.
On the other hand, the red ones are more
limited.
Listan Negro, and Negramol.
Just the two?
That's all.
Okay.
That's all. And mainly Negramol, because Listan Negro is only 15%. So,
wow.
So mainly that. And what you should expect of this wine is that special volcanic character. And
especially with the red wines.
Especially with the reds, this is where you find it more, because it gets into the game the role of the skins.
Yeah, I think
and all the ash that has been attached.
So for those of you who've never tried a Canary Island red, many people think they're disgusting. Not disgusting, but they're very complicated. They smell like ash, fire, and brimstone. Sometimes sulfury, fiery. I think they're amazing. But I can only have like a glass or two, and I'm like, okay. Now, not all of them obviously, it depends on the producer. For example, we have a couple here. One's called Crater, one's called Baboso Negro from Bere de la Fuente, and they are not that ashy. But traditionally, they were quite pale, elegant wines, very elegant, really good for food, but they were like, holy crikey. They're strong, and that is, as Rocky said, a direct influence from the soil and probably the ambient air quality and what it contains, interacting with the skins, and the skins through the fermentation, and the fact that they'll ferment at like 25, 28 degrees centigrade anyway, so the warmth, which is going to extract more anyway, you get this very unique aroma. With the white wines, I find you have like maybe a saline saltiness, but
Yep.
if you said this is from Navarra, I'd be like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
But with the reds, it's like this is from the Canary Islands. no, surprises.
No, we have had here a lot of reds from Canary Islands, especially whites. In the shop, our specialties are the whites from Canary Islands.
Well,
But
they're
we
cheaper
normally
as well.
have 5-6 different references of Canary Islands.
I think they're cheaper and they're easier. I think it's like Jerez. Even though I like them, I know people won't buy them as easily. It's easier to sell a Ribera del Duero for 20 euros than a Canary Island red, but the whites are a bit more like 10 euros ish. People don't mind,
Do you think Malvasia is a very plain grape?
Is this a way of you allowing me to start talking about Malvasia?
I would love you to enlighten us
Well,
about Malvasia.
Strap
I want
in.
to know all about Malvasia.
now, I'm sure there are some Shakespeare fans out there. Let me hear you say, to be or not to be. Okay, I hate myself. So,
Yes.
Shakespeare,
We do as well.
Chaucer, that you'll find writings in these plays, specifically a character called Falstaff, referring to Malmsey wine, which is the English bastardization of Malvasia. Because the original name of Malvasia comes from Monembasia, which was a Greek port. But anyway, also you'll find references to what they call Canary wine, which is again Malvasia, used to make these astonishing sweet wines, which there is still in the island. So the history of this grape and the history of people drinking Malvasias from the Canary Islands is an old tradition. However, obviously the wine we're drinking now is nothing to do with that. Did you know that George Plantagenet, the first Duke of Clarence, big fan of him, yeah?
Yeah.
Edward IV's brother?
Yes, I read all his books.
He didn't write any books, but anyway. He was allegedly executed, drowned in a bottle of Malmsey wine.
He deserved it.
Bastard. So Malvasia is a grape which tends to, well, like people have said, and you and I have said, floral, aromatic with
But
flowers and stuff, but it's not a heavy grape. It's
Yeah.
quite a light grape.
It's it's a grape that it needs to be worked in the winery. You need to add personality to it. Otherwise, it's like it's like
Yeah.
iron. It doesn't like it's a little bit sweet. It reminds me of Muscat somehow.
They're very similar. Moscatel is like a
But
bigger
Moscatel
version.
has
Yeah.
a stronger personality.
I mean, interestingly, so Malvasia is the same as Moscatel insofar as it's what we call a family of grapes. There is no one grape called Malvasia. There's lots of Malvasias. It seems to be a family of similar grapes, which might be actually genetically different, which all share the same organoleptic properties. So, for example, the Malvasia that they used to make wines in Toro is not a true Malvasia. It's actually a grape in Spain called Doña Blanca, which originally was called Sidia, but it smells and acts quite a lot like a true Malvasia, so the local people in Toro called it Malvasia from Toro. Now, this is a Malvasia, but it was probably a cross way back when of other Malvasias. So it is part of the Malvasia family. But recently, like 10 years ago, the wine geneticists have found that the Malvasia of Lanzarote, to be very specific, has a unique fingerprint.
No,
It is a Lanzarote grape.
that's why it's called Malvasia Volcanica.
So that's the poetic name they've given it.
Oh.
Because you could call it Malvasia de Lanzarote, but La Jeria area specifically, a lot of the wine, and well, these guys as well, they are making it sound a bit more sexy, a bit more, theirs and call it Malvasia Volcanica.
I knew you
Which
were
is-
going to enrich us with your amusing facts about
You're welcome.
Malvasia.
Malvasia. So basically there's lots of Malvasias, but the Malvasia of Lanzarote is specific to the island, thus making it more interesting, basically. You got light aromas, full body, as you said, quite a bit of flavour, but yeah, you maybe have to work it a bit.
What do you think about the wine? Are you enjoying it?
Those of you who've bought it, well, remember Nina's in San Francisco, I think, so she's probably, or is it Chicago? She's probably having her granola.
We have another interesting Malvasia from Toro. Colegiata is really good.
But that's, as I said, that's not a true Malvasia.
But what I noticed when you pour the wine in my glass is that it has like a effervescence, and it happens the same with the other Malvasia from Toro. It has like a slightly effervescence at the beginning.
That's, yeah, I don't know why, as in, I know why that happens. You get a little bit of latent CO2 because there's a micro amount of fermentation that continues in the bottle. But why in Malvasia? Je ne sais pas. I don't know. Ava says she likes very much San Diego, California area. Now, we have got some questions. They're all from your nephew. And some of them are him being a smartass. So, some of them we're not going to answer yet. So he's asked us what's the difference between champagne and cava. We'll do that on the sparkling wine.
Yes.
This is a good question. How can I give a wine as a present to someone and look like I've done it, a good job, without if they know about the wine well and I don't?
Okay.
So I need to buy a wine. I don't know much about wine. But the person I'm buying wine for, they know a bit about wine. Like, my friend is studying to be a sommelier. What the hell do I do?
Go to a wine shop.
Oh, very good. Yes.
Like Madrid and Daracat, where they will advise you, and you will look like a smart person in front of that pretentious asshole.
Is that literally the only answer you've got? Just come to our shop.
Yes.
I was trying to think more outside the box. I've got an idea. Similar to what you said, if you're trying to buy a gift, well, for me there's two options. If you're trying to buy a gift for somebody who knows a lot about wine, two options. Either you talk to his or her, or choose your pronoun, his or her, it's she, the boyfriend, for example. I need to buy my auntie a bottle of wine, and she's a sommelier. So I'll go to my uncle and I go, hey, what does my auntie drink?
Yeah.
Oh, she's always drinking Bordeaux. Then you buy a Bordeaux, nice and safe. Or, like you said, if you go to a nice wine shop, the other idea is if someone is interested, there's a difference between knows a lot and is interested. If they're interested in wine, find the weirdest, random, get a Malvasia Volcanica from Lanzarote, get something like they'll never have tried before.
I mean, or just buy a good wine. If that person loves wine, that person will never regret that if it's good.
Hopefully. We have more. Anything
Fabio
else?
Rodriguez says that reminds him a New Zealand Riesling.
Yeah. Not
Probably Pegasus Bay.
So, next question from Adrian. If I add MDA to a glass of wine to drug my date, will he notice the flavour? That's not
Oh my god.
He's asking us the difference between organic and natural wine, which is more alcoholic, but we'll talk about that on another podcast as well. What's this? YouTube Live?
YouTube Live.
What else is this nonsense? This is an interesting one. How long can I have a wine bottle open in the fridge?
Oh, that's a very good question.
Can I die from out of date? You're not going to die if the wine goes off. The wine is disgusting.
It will not taste good, and your body will tell you.
A week
A week,
max in the fridge. Depends if you have the little. I think we've mentioned it before. The little vacuum.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that, please. Don't do that. If I don't want YouTube to close this.
No, that's
channel.
the only fans account. There's a little thing called the vacuum, which is a little fake cork. which you
Yeah.
have a pump and you take out the oxygen. If it's just the usual thing which people do, they get the cork and they just shove it in.
Yeah.
No more than a week at all.
Yeah.
No more than a week.
The only way to get wine from a bottle without opening it is to buy this evil machine called Corabin, which is very expensive, actually, 200 euros.
Yeah, it's silly. It's a silly
But also
design.
you have to pay for the charge. It's a machine that replaces the wine for how do you say gas inerte?
An inert gas.
Thank you very
Or
much.
inerte.
I think they use argon, could be?
Argon, yeah.
Argon. And well, it's an evil machine. That's the only way to really remove wine, take out from a bottle wine without opening the bottle, and keeping it safe for a few months. Not forever. It's not forever, but a few months will go well.
You must be a particular kind of freak if you are leaving.
I mean, it's
your wine
useful
a few
for
months.
shops.
It's good for us.
Yes, because for example, if one day, soon, we will have our tasting
Tasting bar license.
here in the shop, so you will be you
You can buy a glass of wine legally from us.
here and buy a glass of wine. You will have a list of wines and say, oh, I want to try this, and we can offer very expensive wines because we can take the wine out of the bottle without opening it. So it's safe for us and a great chance for you to try super expensive wines for the price of one glass.
And the last question from your very amusing nephew. I just drank some rose.
All these questions from here. Really?
He was in the Uber on the way to a date, and he's just sending us silly questions. The last one is, I just drank some rosé wine, and I think I'm pregnant. Doctor, what colour will my baby be?
Next.
Probably pink. So yeah, that's all the questions. They're all of them there, all from him. So I think that's all I have to say about that. I won't speak about the grape anymore. If anyone has any questions, this is the time.
Nina is
to
asking,
ask them.
says, I love to research tasting notes, details, and other information to the gift. Great to learn. Huh. It's amazing.
Nina's our best fan.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just a shame we can't ship to California. If anyone has any other questions, this is your time to ask. But while you're formulating questions, I know you all have questions. You have two things to do.
Typing right now, I can see.
First of all, you need to give us a like. This is embarrassing.
Yes.
It's Wednesday night. We're working our ass off in December, and there's 2 likes.
Yes. I woke up at 5. I had to milk my cows, and then I came here to work. And
I didn't even go to sleep because I was trying to find the cows. Also, it'd be really nice if you could subscribe, if you can click the notification bell, because that means we get, it's better for us if there's more subscribers. And also it means that you'll get a little ping, little mail that says, oh, they're going to do their live tasting.
well, the next Sunday we have a very busy Sunday because we have Instagram with Mr. Rick Fisher from the Spanish Wine Scholar. We are going to have a Instagram live with him on Sunday previous this tasting. So we are going to taste
also
with
in
him.
California, so Nina, you can watch it live.
Ooh.
And he'll be working as well. But yeah, 8 o'clock
and after
here.
that, we will taste with you Ateca. Ateca is the Garnacha, including the
sexy
December
Garnacha,
box.
yeah.
Any teaser of that wine?
It's big. Big. It's not too big. The Ribera is big, but it's boozy, aromatic. It's one of the benchmark classic styles of how to make an Aragon Garnacha. Some of you, I don't know who's watching, but some of you might have joined us on our first ever confinement box back in March, and we did a little wine called Flor de Goda. Ateca's this is the bigger one.
Yeah, but remember, don't be scared of Garnachas. Garnachas can be, it's a grape with a high content of sugar, and it can be not sweet, but it can have like a sweety background.
Not Ateca though.
Not Ateca, but
The Godina style ones maybe. Ateca's classic.
Yeah.
Red wine. That's one you want to have like a nice, not a steak, And that's for the Ribera, but like a nice stew or some strong food.
That's okay, it's great.
Fabio just asks, what is the source of the pétillance in this wine? Like I say, I don't know. It's most probably just a bit of carry-over, extra miniature fermentation in the bottle after it's been closed. So yeah.
Well, anything else to add, Mr. Darrakut?
No, I just really love this wine. I love everything about this wine. I love everything about the winery, the area. I think it's just fascinating, and I'm really happy we were able to put an affordable Malvasia from the Canary Islands in our box.
Please give us a like. Do it now. Don't leave for tomorrow what you can do now, today.
Someone's done one.
And also, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe.
I've already done this.
No, shut up.
You're repeating yourself. Now they hate us. They're going to take the likes away. 4 likes. There you go.
And also remember the great news that we had at the beginning. We can now deliver to UK. So
tell all your friends.
Tell your friends. And I want to hear the phone right now calling us and saying,
Give me 6 Dom Perignon.
It's really cheap, actually. It's not very. I mean, of course, depends on the amount of wine and the speed.
There's no point in buying €5 wines.
But it's quite affordable. So probably now you can have Spanish wine in your Christmas dinner.
Nice. Well, on that note, have a lovely Wednesday evening, everybody, and I guess we'll see you the next time.
Yes, and look.
I'm going to go and make some Asian food, spicy, to go with my volcanic Malvasia.
See you.